a tough matchup anytime we play Louisville. I think this Virginia team, though, is a little bit better on defense than in years past. And I think this Louisville team's a little bit, worse than they've been in the past couple of years. But just looking at the past couple of games, Virginia hasn't allowed Louisville to score 60 in any of their games since joining the ACC. It's been 6 matchups.
Never. Tony Bennett has never allowed Louisville to get to 60.
Right. And, the last 3 head-to-head, Louisville's averaging 51 points per game, and we're averaging 66 points per game. So, we in the last 3 meetings, we've really dominated this. And I'd expect us to do it again tonight. The Vegas spread is 9.5 points in our favor, and the over/under at 124.
And UVA is 14-4 on the under and 14-4 against the spread. So if you're going to do, let's make it interesting. You and I can make it interesting, father to son here, and any of the friends playing at home, we want to call up a friend and say, hey, let's place a little wager here. Let's make it interesting. What's Louisville going to score tonight? You set it at 55.
55, yeah. And I think that's the barrier. If they get above that, it's definitely going to be scary. They could definitely cover the spread for sure if they get over 55. But Virginia is averaging 50 points per game at home on defense. So yeah, on defense. So that 50 points per game, and Louisville team that has struggled to beat us in this defense. I would expect if it's 55, I want to take the under. But if you want to drop it a little bit lower, to like an even 50, would that change things?
Well, I would be more interested in 50 than 55.
All right, so what do you think? Let's do 52.
52?
Yeah, you still take the under?
Oh man, they just did 36 on Clemson, and Clemson hung 44 in Carolina at the half. So I'll take 52 in the under.
52 in the under. All right.
Yeah, we'll discuss the size of the bet offline, because we're not gonna bet that farm, but it won't be a big president or a founding father of any note. But we'll keep it sane just to keep it fun. And that's what this is all about. It's having fun watching the game. I got a dinner tonight to go to at 8 o'clock, so I'm going to record the game. But because I love watching their defense, playing the tape. So where's the vulnerability for UVA with Louisville's offense?
So just looking at the past couple of years, Louisville gives us problems when they break out of the hedge quickly. So when I talked about hedging that screen,
right,
and getting them to go sideways, if Quentin Snyder, a senior guard for Louisville, he's averaging, I think, 13 points per game. He's going to be the one that he has to have a good game. He has to break out of those hedges and make a good quick pass. And then he's got to get it to shooters like, VJ King, Ryan McMahon. They got to have good games, no doubt about it. And
so their wings really are the key for Louisville.
Right. But so far this year, they've kind of relied on their bigs. That Dang Adele kid, he's their leading scorer at 15 points per game. But we keep the ball out of the post. We keep it out of the paint. He's going to have to settle for some outside shots. He's not afraid to take outside shots. So, if he's hitting those trail threes or something, that could give us a problem. But, we give so much pressure on the ball at all times. I don't really see that becoming an issue. But, if Louisville's going to score points, it's going to be by the 3 ball, and that's what the pack line makes you do. And this year, I just don't think that the Louisville team's going to do that.
Okay, so if we're looking at Louisville breaking down the wings, not getting into the bigs, that's the pack line. You called it pack the lane defense. Mm-hmm. We get that. But how's UVA's health? You got DeAndre Hunter with the sprained ankle. You got some flu issues. I mean, they might have a depleted core. How deep is UVA to go against a Louisville team at game time? What are we looking at?
I think that they're just deep enough. I think this could be a game where Jack Salt could come up and have a good game.
Against
we need to try to get their bigs in foul trouble early. That would be huge for us.
So we on offense have to feed it. We on offense have to feed it low to get those guys in foul trouble.
Right. And I think because of how much Louisville relies on their bigs,
Right.
if we can do that and kind of target their bigs early, we'll deplete their core.
So that's what to look for in UVA's offense. So you think they're going to target going down low and getting their bigs in trouble, and which would put more pressure on their outside offense, sort of the Belichick model of taking away a strength. And the strength for Louisville has been their interior scoring. That's the game inside the game, right? That's the chess match.
That's what I would do, and that's
Okay.
what I think.
All right, so we set the Louisville over under because we think UVA is going to win outright. Probably cover the 9.5 outright. I wouldn't, certainly wouldn't bet Louisville to cover in this game, especially at game time. It'd be critical if they were healthy. I mean, if UVA is healthy, I don't think 9.5 covers. I think it's probably why the lines come down a little bit. That's something to look at. So game time, folks, watch your gaming boards there. Let's move over to the National Basketball Association. Big trade. LA Clippers sending Blake Griffin to the Detroit Pistons. That's a cultural switch going from LA to Detroit. Although Detroit's coming up in the world and it's getting better. What do you see that trade doing for the NBA and the Pistons and the Clippers?
Well, I think it's a big smack in the face to Blake Griffin from the Clippers organization. And
really?
Oh yeah, and it kind of justifies what Kevin Durant did in going to Golden State, and you're going to see a whole lot more of this now. You got a guy who signs 5 years, 172 or 173 million, makes that commitment after they trade away Chris Paul, and apparently the Clippers in their free agent meeting said that they want to keep this guy around for a long time. They wanted to lock him up, and 6 months into the deal, they ship you off to Detroit from LA. I mean,
what the heck?
Is this what loyalty gets you in this game? Because it's a savvy business move. It's the right thing. They're rebuilding, blah, blah, blah. But
is it the right thing for the Clippers?
Yes, because I think the Warriors are going to run. Yeah, the Warriors, the Rockets.
This year's over. They've already thrown the towel this year.
For the next foreseeable future. I think
are they doing the Philadelphia 76ers and just going to load up on draft picks and just try to build through the draft and sign a free agent? Or are they going to go for LeBron?
Who, the Clippers?
Yeah.
No, I mean not now. When you take a player that's been loyal to your organization this far, and you just ship him away for, good pieces, but rebuilding pieces. That's not going to pull in any free agents. I mean,
they're going to look at that and go, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, why would I go there? Why would I commit to you when you just shipped away somebody that's been loyal to you for their entire career?
A superstar.
Yeah, a superstar.
Someone who brings in the tickets.
The fans loved him. The fans loved him. It's totally disrespectful, and that's what. And LeBron was right when he talked about. Anytime a team does this, it's a good business decision. It's, the best thing for them, blah, blah, blah. But anytime a player leaves, it's, they're not loyal, they're a snake, they're not committed to winning, blah, blah, blah. And it's a totally different narrative. And it's just, it's starting to kind of get to me as like, it's wrong, this kind of whole.
Does it hurt the brand of the NBA?
Yeah, I think so.
Like the Pirates hurt their brand by trading away Garrett Cole and Andrew McCutchen. We've talked about this as Pirate fans. You're like, you're trading away your two best players. You're not interested in winning this year unless you get something good for it, and they didn't. So they're saying, we're going to rebuild. They put up a big flashing sign. We're rebuilding. But that whole respect, build the brand, build the loyalty, build the fan base.
Yeah. What does that say to the fans to say, we're not going to try to win anymore this year? But still come to our games, still give us your money, still buy our jerseys. Right. Even though we're not going to give you our best, you should still give us your best.
Give us your money.
Yeah, give us your money. Give us your support, but don't expect us to win any games anytime soon. Thanks for coming out. Have a nice night. No, it's wrong. It's wrong.
It's wrong.
It's tanking in a sense, and it undermines kind of the feeling that sports should always have, and that's that everybody is giving their best effort to win. And when you take that away, and you make it about business, and you make it about, what's going on in the future, which I get from their side, but from the fan side, it has to be a gut punch.
Before we move over to the NFL, and the big move for the Redskins and Alex Smith, when you look at the brands of the major sports, hockey, baseball, basketball, football, who's got the best brand of a sport that keeps those players on the teams and tries to build? I think it's hockey right now.
Yeah, it's hockey in that sense.
Well, that's what it comes down to: fan loyalty, fan writing the check, buying the season tickets, going, investing, buying the jerseys, being a team. I think their fan experiences. I think closing in on. They'll never be as big, obviously, as the NFL or basketball or baseball. But I think your point's well taken on the marketing of the product within the greater culture.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll definitely I got to start paying more attention to that in the NHL because, admittedly, I've been more focused on the other three sports, and in those sports, especially recently, it's like the loyalty thing is just not there, and it's all about me, and then the owners, and they kind of take the spotlight, but I couldn't even name you an NHL owner.
Right. So let's take a look back. We'll come back to a different conversation on that. Because you and I had some very strong opinions about Durant going to the Warriors, leaving Oklahoma City. But, the same token, it sounds to you like Oklahoma City would trade him in a heartbeat if it felt like it was best interest of the organization.
Right.
So it's a two-way street.
They traded away Harden. Yeah, they traded away Harden for almost nothing, and it's like, what does loyalty get you on one end when it's expected out of the other end?
Right. It's an unhealthy relationship.
Right
now between owners and players and some of the sports, and I think on balance, players have a lot to offer, and then maybe that's why some of them will move into ownership and change that balance, or they might see it very differently from the ownership perspective. Let's move on to the NFL. Big trade yesterday. Obviously, Kirk Cousins not going back to the Redskins. The Redskins trading for Kansas City All-Pro quarterback, highest rated quarterback in the NFL this year, Alex Smith. How do you see that trade?
I think it's a good trade for the Redskins because I don't think Kirk Cousins really wanted to be there long term. Really? I feel like all the reports coming out that he was, going to try to go to 49ers. He didn't want to get franchise tagged again, blah, blah, blah. It didn't seem like a good fit for whatever reason, but I think Kirk Cousins is still a good quarterback. So they go out and they trade, is it Kendall Fuller and a third-round pick. And then they agree to, pay or extend Alex Smith's contract 4 years at like $25 million a year and $70 million guaranteed. So they showed that they're ready to commit to a quarterback. It just wasn't going to be Kirk Cousins because I don't think Kirk Cousins had reciprocated that back to them. So, and then the Chiefs wanted to get Alex Smith out of there to give, room for Pat Mahomes. But talking about the loyalty thing again, Alex Smith just had a great year. He was the highest rated,
highest rated quarterback you trade.
Yeah, and he's been with the team for how long? And thanks, but no thanks. We want to give this rookie some reps, and we're just going to give him the reins. So have a nice life. I mean,
is Pat Mahomes the guy? Is Mahomes the guy?
Yeah, Mahomes is the guy. He's going to be the guy. Apparently, for them to trade up into the top 10 last year, they see something in him. Long term. So, apparently He's got this rocket arm. He can make plays with his legs. And I think he's going to be a real good fit in that offense because he can make plays with his legs.
Well, who was behind him at Texas Tech? Trivia question.
Oh, is it Baker Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield, thanks for playing.
Hey, there you go.
Nice, well done. The guru, the sports guru, William Saxman. Final thoughts on today? What else are you looking at?
Oh, man, let me see. I don't have anything right off the top of my head. I know there's good college basketball being played, but...
No worries. We'll cycle back tomorrow after the UVA game. We'll break down the UVA Louisville tomorrow. Thanks for joining us today. The sports guru, my son, South Carolina graduate, went on the Final Four run with South Carolina Gamecocks. How the Gamecocks doing?
Good, a lot better. Winning at Florida, beating Kentucky at home. I think this team is starting to click in big ways, and they play Mississippi State tonight at home. 3.5-point favorites. I think I like the Gamecocks in that one. So.
What time's that game? 7 tip?
7.
Are they going to make the tournament?
They need to keep playing well because they lost a lot of early season games. But who's not impressive? North Carolina. But we'll talk about that at another point.
laying the marker on the game today on North Carolina.
To lose at Clemson, and then they've lost like 4 out of their last 5 or something. And I went and looked at their wins this year. If they were another team in the ACC, people would be talking about them as a bubble team. Wow. Leonardo's got them as a 4 seed. They have not proved themselves.
Did UVA just throttle them? Did UVA throw their season off? Shake their confidence?
I don't know what it is, and they just suspended their guard, Jalik Felton.
Ooh.
Chapel Hill has some problems, and I've been looking at the draft boards. They don't even have anybody that's getting projected to go anywhere. They're all going to be back.
So you're calling out the University of North Carolina. Get Coach Kevin Madden on the horn. And
Dude, North Carolina has problems. A lot of fans are going to be, they're going to be mad at me for this.
Their defense is horrible. Their defense is non-existent.
They have good players, but none of them are even getting projected to go to the NBA.
Right, we'll come back to
we'll talk about that another time. But good
That's
Lord,
great. Look, we're 5.5 weeks out of Selection Sunday, son. Your insights are going to be critical for people picking out their brackets. You're the bracketologist, as your mother called you, and I look forward to the run into the tournament. You were there. You know the deal. See you, buddy.
See ya.